Eric Way operates the News Koulomb YouTube channel. This charge point operator is pronounced the same, but the first letter is a K instead of a C. The word means a standard unit of electrical charge. I'm here at the Pure Power Contractors corporate offices, which is also where the CPO hails from. They are in the process of installing their first collection of charging stations throughout the Southeast United States. Pure Power Contracting is here in Monroe, North Carolina. They specialize in photovoltaic installations. Let's go take a look at their charging station at their corporate headquarters. Okay, so at their corporate offices, they have this single BTC unit. It is able to output 50 kilowatts with 200 to 500 volts, 125 amps. So at a 400 volt output, a car would be getting 50 kilowatts. Let's go take a look at some of their other locations. This is the first location they did away from their corporate offices. I'm in Matthews, North Carolina. There are two dispensers. They are Fai-Hong, made in Taiwan, with nameplates of 360 kilowatts on every port, and I'll go over that in just a second. They're fed from one 360 kilowatt cabinet, so we know that can't be true. This is a Huber Schooner handled 500 amp cable. So this cable could output with an 800 volt car up to 360 kilowatts. So that nameplate is accurate, which is the same on the left-hand side of that dispenser. However, on the right-hand side of this dispenser is a CHAdeMO, and we know CHAdeMO can't do 360, but it says 360. On the right-hand side over there, there's an Amphenol connector, which is 300 amps. So if you do the math on this, the one power cabinet can feed this location, if there are 4 stalls filled with 400 volt cars, 50 kilowatts to each stall. So it's definitely oversubscribed. I suppose they could put in another cabinet if they wanted to. Perhaps because this is the first location away from their corporate offices, they were just trying to feel out the technology. But the fact that there's 500 amp cables on one side, the left side, and then a 300 amp cable on one side, and then a CHAdeMO connector on the right side over here with nameplate 360 is a little disingenuous. Regardless, it is nice they have pathways for access to the dispensers painted in front of the stalls, so that is helpful. Brandon Flash, a very prominent EV infrastructure professional, did a site visit video of this location, which I'll link down below in the description. I'm at the Sun Valley Retail Plaza in Indian Trail, North Carolina, which is only about 2 miles from their corporate offices. This is the third site that they have put in. These are Fai-Hong dispensers. There is a cabinet, a pad-mounted transformer, which I'll go over in just a second. It's not yet commissioned, but it looks very close to being doing so. It's very similar to the second location. In fact, it's, I'd say, identical. They have the Huber Schooner connectors with the 500 amp liquid cool cables that are able to output 200 kilowatts at 400 volts or 360 kilowatts at 800 volts. So this nameplate of 360 is correct. All the nameplates here say 360, but that's not the same. This is the same as the other location. That's not accurate because this cable here is the Amphenol. Can't see it, I have to look at my notes. 300 amps. So you can't do a full 360 at 300 amps. You can only get 120 kilowatts at a 400 volt car and about 250 with a 800 volt car. Still brand new, ready to be commissioned. Let's go over and take a look at the switchgear. Okay, so it's a single power cabinet feeding the two dispensers as was described last time. And if you look here, the maximum output is 360 kilowatts, assuming that's going to be the entire site maximum throughput. So nameplating each one of the handles at 360 is a little disingenuous, but you know, these are good people. If you have one cabinet feeding 4 dispensers, each dispenser has 2 handles, and we have four 400 volt cars, really all you could output is 50 kilowatts per car, which ain't great, but still nice effort. Here's the pad mounted transformer. It's 750 kVA, put in, I believe, by Duke Energy. Yep, it says Duke Energy right there on the meter. And that's what's feeding the cabinet, and then the cabinet feeds the dispensers. Let's go to the next location. Next one is going to be in Virginia. Okay, in order to get to this location from Charlotte, it's a straight shot up Interstate 85, which connects Richmond, Virginia with Atlanta, Georgia, cutting through Greenville, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in the town of Midlothian, Virginia, and these units look different, but they're made by the same Phai Hong Taiwanese company. They're just looking like they're newer dispensers. The cabinet is the same, and I'll put the nameplate up here, picture in picture. But it's, again, a 360 kilowatt cabinet feeding 2 dispensers. The switch gear, the security gear is the same as is characteristic in every site. The wrapping is the same, a little bit different cable management. No CHAdeMO here, but it's the same Huber Schuner 500 amp liquid cooled cable on the left, and the 300 amp ambient cooled Amphenol cable on the right for both dispensers. It's always nice to see a new CPO show up on the scene, and this is a small one. You know, they're fledgling. They only have 5 locations, 3 in North Carolina, 2 in Virginia, and most of them are not even open yet. The one in the headquarters only has 1 dispenser, and then there's only the 1 open site in North Carolina, and then the 2 that are waiting to be commissioned, the 2 in Virginia waiting to be commissioned. But still, private enterprise looking at a business opportunity, trying to capitalize on it with all the EV adoption occurring is always encouraging to see. Okay, so I'm in Ashland, Virginia, and because it's raining, I'm not going to do the microphone with the tripod approach. I'm at a Chipotle Five Guys, very close to Interstate 95. This site is not commissioned yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hardware. So the cabinet is the same as site number 2 and site number 3. It's a 360 kilowatt single cabinet feeding 2 dispensers with their switchgear and their Sentry security system, which is powered by solar as a means of backup, but also getting utility feed for primary electricity. Okay, and the same as sites 2 and 3, we have Phai Hong dispensers, labeled nameplate 360 kilowatt. However, over here it's only 300 amp Amphenol, and over here is the Huber Schuner 500 amp liquid cooled cable. So that's actually the only one that could do 360 kilowatts for an 800 volt car. This one cannot. Let's go over to the other dispenser. As in the other site 2 and 3 locations, there are 2 dispensers. This one also has 1 CHAdeMO. This one is not nameplated 360, so I think they've learned their lesson here. But 1 360 kilowatt CCS Huber Schuner liquid cooled 500 amp cable. So there's the 5 locations by new CPO Koulomb, hailing out of Matthews, North Carolina, in varying states of operation. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.